Garcia, member of the Young Adult Professionals Program at the Houston Humane Society. Today we will yap about animal cruelty with Assistant DA Lauren Valenti and DA Brian Middleton. So let's get yapping.
So cruelty is anything that causes unnecessary pain or suffering to an animal. When we're talking about what does Texas law require of pet owners, the law is essentially a bare minimum for how people should treat their pets. If you see a case or you see an animal and you look at it and you say, that's not the way that I would treat my pet, it's probably not the way that I would treat my pet either, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's animal cruelty. So things that are cruel treatment are not providing your animal with shelter, food, and water, and then doing the more obvious things where you're out causing physical harm to your animal, which would be the unnecessary pain and suffering. Right, so tethering is when you, and we're mostly looking at dogs when we're talking about tethering, attach your pet to a stationary point by some sort of rope. Tethering, there are certain criteria that you have to follow for the tethering to be legal, and so you're going to be looking at what time is it. You're supposed to be not having your pet tethered for a long period of time between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. You also have to look at the length of the tether, which can either go by the size of the pet or 10 feet long. You also are having the weather conditions, and so if there is extreme heat or extreme cold, or hurricanes or tropical storms like we have here in the Houston area, those are all going to be times that you would not be allowed or permitted to have your pet tethered outside. So under the law, there's not anything that specifically defines hoarding. And so when we have a case where it's a situation that we all think about of what hoarding is, where somebody has too many animals, we're prosecuting that under the same language as making sure that your pet has enough shelter, food, or water. There's not anything in the law that says you can't have a specific number of animals, or if you have over this number of animals that is hoarding. There could be city ordinances, depending on where you live, that say what number of animals that you can have. It may require you to have certain licenses if you have over that number. But the main thing for hoarding is if you are able to adequately care for all of the animals that you have, you're able to provide them food, shelter, and water, then it wouldn't be a situation that would probably be prosecuted as a hoarding case. So to be a licensed breeder in the state of Texas, there are certain licenses that you have to go through to be able to have that sort of business. But if you are breeding and the person who's doing the breeding puts profits over the welfare of the animals, that could turn into an animal cruelty situation where you're not able to provide them food, shelter, or water, or medical care that they may need. And it could very quickly turn into a hoarding situation if you're not keeping track of how many dogs or cats or whatever animal it is that you're breeding, and you just become overwhelmed before you know it, and you're not able to provide that care that you need to. So a lot of times, more recently, we're getting a lot of reports of animal cruelty, whether it just be for regular cruelty or hoarding, through the PAWS website. So a lot of people are reporting things online. I think a lot of times, too, people themselves or other persons are just calling animal control because they see something that's concerning to them, and then when animal control goes out, they're able to assess the situation and realize that maybe there is some cruelty going on, or maybe somebody has gotten in a little bit over their head. Right, so once somebody makes the report, it's investigated by a law enforcement agency. They collect all of the information, they conduct their investigation, and then they send over a packet to our office, and we're able to review it to make sure that all of the information that they've collected meets all of the elements of that particular offense. So more recently here at our office, we brought over our own investigator for animal cruelty. Right, so as time has progressed, people have grown stronger relationship with their pets, thinking of them as more family members than just property. And so with that, it is unfortunately something that abusers in domestic violence situations can use to their advantage. And so they have the ability to use pets as a way to have other people in the household comply. Or it can also be something where a victim of domestic violence delays leaving that relationship because she doesn't want to leave pets behind. And so more recently, the Houston Humane Society started a local chapter of the Link Coalition, um, which is, they're also partnered with a number of different agencies in the area, including the Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office. And it's to educate and spread awareness to the public about that link between animal cruelty and domestic violence, to let victims know that we're here to help them in whatever they need. So if you suspect that an animal is being cruelly treated, you can call 832-927-PAWS to report that cruelty, or you can just contact your local animal control so they can go out and investigate.
A big thanks to ADA Lauren Valenti and DA Brian Middleton for yapping with us about animal cruelty. For more exclusive opportunities like this, we ask you to join the Young Adult Professionals Club here at the Houston Humane Society. Join the link by clicking below. Thanks!